As the international break draws to a close, it's time to look ahead to FPL Gameweek 12, where I've got 2 free transfers. Help me get this one to 1,000 likes and subscribe to the channel. Let's get into it. Starting off with how my Game Week 11 went then, and it was another green arrow, albeit a small one. It was a stroke of genius to play Fabianski over David Raya. A 9-pointer for my goalkeeper after a load of blanks since wildcard. Felt absolutely huge, although there was no returns elsewhere in my defence. Moving into the attack then, Mo Salah, another week where he delivered the business as my captain. So pleased that I brought him in Game Week 10, and it was such a significant jump on those that went with Haaland, so really pleased with that. Disappointment for Palmer and Rodgers, but Mbeumo cropped up with another assist. It wasn't great for the forward line though. Blanks from Solanke and Wood, despite what looked like promising home fixtures, and vice-captain Haaland, only 5 points from him. It could have been so much more if he hadn't have got that late yellow card. I did dodge points though as well. Manchester United players doing very well. Wissa and Kuna, who I was recommending all week, banged in the goals, but they're not players that I currently have in my own team. 2 free transfers then going into FPL Game Week 12, and the question that most Haaland owners are asking themselves right now is, do we keep him or do we sell him? Now, I think if you don't own Salah, the route from Haaland to Salah feels like a must-make move right now. If you do have both of them though, it's not quite as attractive. If I was to sell Haaland, the player that I would be bringing in with that cash from Haaland would be Saka, but you know, it's just not as appealing as selling Haaland to fund Salah. So I'm a little bit on the fence with that at the moment, especially because Haaland's had such a good international break with Norway. He's been in great form. I kind of want to keep hold of him for a little bit longer. So I think I am going to sit on the fence with that one and not make the move there. The other player that I have question marks about, where it feels like a natural sell point, is Dominic Solanke after that blank. But we know what he can produce in terms of attacking returns when he is in form. I feel like Spurs always struggle off the back of a European midweek. They did have that away trip to Galatasaray before hosting Ipswich, but that was a surprise result. But I still feel like Solanke could come good. I know it is City away this week, but let's face it, City aren't keeping consistent clean sheets. So again, I think Solanke could get a little bit of a reprieve and get this game for me, and maybe I'll reevaluate in another week. But it doesn't feel like I've got an urgent move to make, especially when it comes on to selecting my squad. I think if I was to sell Solanke, because I've not got much money in the bank, I haven't got the ability to upgrade him to an Isak or a Watkins, which feels a little bit appealing. Obviously, I could go down to a Wissa or a Kuna, and that's probably the move I ought to make. I'm still open to making that move, but it just doesn't jump out at me that Solanke is a must sell this week. I also have Mbeumo and Palmer, who are both flagged with injury, so I need to keep an eye on that, but they feel like maybe international break injuries and those yellow flags will disappear come Saturday's deadline. So a few moving parts at the moment, but my gut feeling is to roll the 2 free transfers at the minute. Team selection time then, and it feels like there's plenty of decisions to make in the defence, but I am going to start Raya for Forest at home over Fabianski, who's got a trip to Newcastle. In the back line, I really like Vandenberg away at Everton. I feel like there's a good chance of a clean sheet in that game. Konza at home to Crystal Palace feels clean sheet worthy, and I'm going to play Aït-Nouri for the trip to Fulham over Rico Lewis with Spurs at home, because I feel like he's just got more attacking threat. So Lewis is on the bench with Greaves, who is still flagged with injury, but is due back this week. The decisions in the attack are slightly easier. Well, providing that everyone's fit and available. I will have Lewis as my first sub, of course, if the likes of Palmer or Mbeumo did miss out. But I have got Salah away at Southampton, which feels like a good fixture for him. Rodgers at home to Crystal Palace, high hopes there. And then in the forward line, Solanke and Haaland are going to face off. And it's a difficult fixture for Chris Wood as well, travelling to Arsenal after a lot of miles into the international break for him. When it comes to captaincy then, again, a decision to make. It's between 2 players. It's between Haaland at home to Spurs and Salah away at Southampton. Now, Spurs' defence haven't been great this season. They aren't keeping clean sheets. So there's something in captaining Haaland given his international break form. But I just don't trust Manchester City enough at the moment. Whereas you look at Salah away at Southampton. Southampton have got a terrible defensive record this season, a terrible record in general. And Aaron Ramsdale, I think, is a bit of a doubt for this game as well. So I feel like I can back Salah to do the business because he's just been so consistent. So it is going to be Salah captain and Haaland vice captain. If you've enjoyed this one, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, and keep a lookout for the latest episode of FPL Green Room, which will be dropping in the next 24 hours. Thank you for watching.